Welcome. Welcome to episode 622. That's right, sponsored by Gemini. You know how it goes down. Go to Gemini.com // David G. And check out the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. Got the Bitcoin credit card, got the XRP credit card, and you also got the Solana credit card. Get 4% back in Solana, Bitcoin, or XRP and not in points. That's right. Whichever card that you hold, get 4% back in that. Gemini.com / David G. Again, these cards are issued by WebBank. We'll be right on in the next 5 minutes. Okay. What's going on? Sorry, I was... What? Oh, what the hell is going on? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I was wondering why the light wasn't right. Wondering what's happening here with the light. Now I figured it out. I didn't have my lights on. There we go. We're here, bro. Oh my God. Okay. No. Oh shit. We got to change that up. Got to change that up. Hold on 1 second. All right. John Deaton is coming on at 1:15 p.m. That's right. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 622, sponsored by Gemini, and we're close to being sponsored by Therapy.com. That's right, Therapy.com. Antidepressants, looking at the goddamn charts. Oh my lord, what the hell is going on? What is happening? I thought we were back. I even said we were back. What is happening? What is happening? Ah! God damn it! This is all Jim Cramer's fault. Okay? Jim Cramer talked about a cabal is holding up Bitcoin. And all of a sudden, after he tweeted, we went down the toilet. So I think we'll have to bring on some market analysts out here later on in the show. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I'm scared. Help. Help! Help! The hell's happening? Shut up, Landy. Nobody wants to see you here today, gloating and shit. God damn it. Man, every time I look in, I can't have a screen because every single time, no matter what the markets look like, man, I look into the screen and I see my face and I am so happy. Let's go ahead and make sure that the eyebrows are on fleek, right? Anyway, I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Yeah, a lot of you guys are here tuned in today and you're wondering, what's going on. Guess what? I honestly don't care. Let me be serious here because a lot of you guys are fucking scared. At the end of the day, I'll continue to buy. That's how I look at it. Spot, DCA, hold. That's it. That's the strategy that I've taken on. Watching the markets do what they're doing is just it's terrible, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. There's nothing you can say. I have a video coming out later today, which really explains a lot. Well, within 35 seconds, it explains a lot. It explains a lot about everything that's happened during this current, I hate using the word cycle, but I'll use it now until I come up with a better word. Because I don't believe it. I don't believe in cycles anymore. I know a lot of you guys will be like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? No, I just don't believe in it. I don't believe it. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Looking on the timeline, people are crying. People are goddamn crying. You have nothing to cry about, honestly. If you look at by the way, if you look at the David Gokshin expansion part 3 update, you would actually be absolutely put into a really good mood because I was put into a really good mood after looking into it. It was cool. So let me break it down. Usually I probably do this at the end of the show, but fuck it, let me do it at the beginning. Across all platforms, since the DG show has come back, since the David Gokshin show has come back, then since the DG brand has come back, across all platforms, my audience jumped from 2.41 million to 2.58 million. A little bit less than the last week, but that's okay. Okay, that's okay. Stay humble. Slowly climbing. 1.5 million viewers last week. Instagram Live, and that's with TikTok Live now. And also, we're working on getting Instagram Live and Facebook Live up and going. I don't know what's going on. I have absolutely no clue what's going on there, why we can't connect to it, but I'm sure we'll have more viewers come from there. But right now, we're streaming on YouTube, TikTok, X, LinkedIn, Rumble, Twitch, and Kick. Instagram and Facebook are loading. Working on that. Last week's guests were Murad, Hotep Jesus, John Morgan from StockTwits, Charlie Lee from Litecoin, Discover Crypto, Kelly. He was breaking down the market. We had a lot of people on. Like we're probably forgetting a lot of people. And we got a hell of a show next week. We still have a hell of a show this week. And by the way, the sponsor, of course, is Gemini. Shout out to Gemini. Greatest exchange in the world. That's right. The greatest exchange in the world. And and to break it down quickly, brand new YouTube channel also coming. So we're leaving that YouTube channel to just the DG brand focused channels. New website launching by next week, hopefully. Newsletter rolling out either this week or next. Make sure you sign up. Official merch coming as well. Pause Market t-shirts are coming. The Pause Market t-shirts are coming. I know you guys have been asking for that, especially Landy. Clips alone on X with 1.1 million views. I feel like I'm giving a breakdown of the company Q3 or something. That's how I'm feeling right now. Well, I'm doing a breakdown of the company Q3. But this is just the beginning. We're nowhere near the peak. We're just getting started. You know how it goes. My advice also to people. By the way, the podcast. The podcast is coming out either November or December. The stuff that's been recorded, and then we're bringing on really cool people to go ahead and just have conversations. Either it's an hour or 3 hours long, unfiltered, not edited. I mean, just intro and outro, but the conversations are not going to be edited. And the last thing I want to say is spaces are the worst thing that you can go ahead. I think spaces every day, if you're a content creator or a media personality, I think spaces hinder your growth. They really do. They devalue your brand. I think you should just stop in once in a while and say hi and acknowledge the people that support you. But otherwise, if you can get on camera and you have the desire to go ahead and create content and you have something to bring to the table, some sort of value, just get on camera, get a microphone, and just get busy. It is 1:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 622. And we are about to bring on, I've been watching this guy go head on, especially for XRP, Ripple, for the longest time, advocating for this space. And it's just nice to see that now this man he hasn't given up. He's running for office. I love to see it. We need more people like him in there fighting for us. And that person is, oh my God, why does it disappear? But that person is John Deaton. What's going on, John?
What's up, brother? How are you, my friend?
Man, and you're looking great, man. You are looking great.
Hey, listen, you inspire all of us,
Oh my God, here we go. What is this? Every show, all you guys come on and say that. Like Grant, Gary, everybody. It's just like, who's paying y'all?
No, man, listen. If I was half as good looking as you, I'd already be a U.S. Senator, brother.
I was rooting for you so hard when you went up against Warren. I really dislike her. I don't hope anything happens to her, but I dislike her from a political standpoint. And I was just rooting. You really took. I watched. You really took it to all of them. And I'm just honestly surprised that you didn't win that time. Going back in 2024, I was in shock. I was like, that if any normal person, if you put away political, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you just put that to the side and just watch, right? Just be neutral about it. We go with John. We don't go with anybody else. Look at their records.
Thanks, man. Listen, I knew it was late. It was February 1st. No one was really stepping up. Her bill banned the self-custody of Bitcoin. Plus, her policies are terrible. They're not good for poor people. She supports the accredited investor rule that excludes 85% of the American population out of private equity, all those things. And I just said, I know I'm a no-name candidate. Crypto may have knew of me a little bit, but in Massachusetts, no one really knew who I was. Plus, in Massachusetts, the primary is in September. It's very late. And you only have 2 months to go from the primary to the general. And look, success is relative. I got my butt kicked in the final polls, but I was the first Republican in Massachusetts to get over 40%. 1.3 million people voted for me. And check the math out. If everyone who voted for me last time comes out to the poll and votes for me again, I win, because the midterm election is about 2.4 million people. I got 1.35. This race is different, man. A poll already shows that I could beat Ed Markey. He's only been in Washington, brother, since 1976. I don't believe you were born. I'm going to take
No,
a guess. I'm going to take a
no,
guess that you weren't born yet.
I wasn't born yet. I
Right.
wasn't even a thought.
I was 8. So we got a real shot. And I may even avoid a primary this time while he's tied up in millions. And there's 1.2 million crypto holders in Massachusetts. You know, some of them are Democrats, and he voted against Genius Act. He's going to vote against the Clarity Act. He supports the banks. And so if you don't mind me plugging, because I'm going to forget,
Of
John
course.
John Deaton for Senate. Listen, if I did anything that you guys think was helpful, no matter how small the donation, if you could go to John Deaton for Senate and help me, we can win this race together. I would not do this again if I didn't think I could win this one, man.
Well, you have my endorsement, and everybody who's tuning in. Like, if you live in Mass, you go out there and you vote for John. Period. That's me 100%. We need somebody like John in office. Okay, we need new blood in there. That understands tech and understands, these people do, like, honestly, like, I look at it and they do nothing. They do nothing. How long has that guy been there? Since 68, you said?
He's been in Washington since 1976, 50 years. 50 years. He's been in Washington, David, 10 years longer than the average person in Massachusetts has been alive.
What's the biggest problem in Mass?
Well, in
Like,
Massachusetts, well, right now it's like many places. The biggest problem here is we're the most expensive. We're dead last in housing affordability. We are the dead last in private sector growth. 1.1 million people are now on food stamps in Massachusetts. And it's because of policies like Ed Markey. He favors the Green New Deal, which is a scam, and alternative energy mandates. They act like Massachusetts can solve climate change by itself, right? So they punish the taxpayer and the businesses by these insane policies. But the good news is they went so far extreme, they've offended even center left people, right? I'm a center right guy. Someone else is center left. They've offended them because they went Looney Tune, man.
it's wild. What do you think about this? Obviously now the government's reopened, but what do you think about the government shutdown?
Well, it's another example where military didn't get paid, air traffic controllers didn't get paid, Capitol Police didn't get paid, but the political hacks that shut down the government still got paid. That's why Markey doesn't want to leave. It's the swamp, man. The swamp's a lifestyle. David, in the 90s, Ed Markey wrote 92 bad checks bouncing over $48,000, which is back then is like 6 figures. He didn't even have to pay $1 in insufficient fund fee. Credit was not impacted. You or I get prosecuted because the swamp protected him. He's a member of Congress. He's special. Different rules apply, just like the shutdown. And so what did he end up doing after he got bailed out during the 2008 financial crisis? He bailed the banks out, right? He bailed them out. They wrote checks they couldn't cash either. So I really think we got a shot, but I got to tell you, it does require money. It does require support. A campaign that's successful comes down to 3 things: comes down to money, message, and work ethic. I promise you, he won't outwork me, and the message is on point. And so, if I'm able to raise enough money to get the message out, we're going to win this race. And you and your audience can say they helped one of our own get into the U.S. Senate.
Oh, 100%. We'll go be pushing for you. I absolutely 100% will be pushing for you. Speaking of pushing, is Coinbase, Gemini, all these like crypto companies, are they jumping in to help you out here to go ahead and make sure that you win? Because I mean, if you win, it's beneficial for, I'll take one subject here, which everybody cares about, crypto. Like it is, especially for retail. Forget
Yeah.
about it. Forget just crypto, just retail in general, participating in the general markets.
100%. I hope so. Listen, last year I understood the Fair Shake PAC got a lot of criticism because they didn't support me against Warren. But I understood, the betting markets, poly market had me losing 99.9% chance. It's a business. They spent money elsewhere and they made the right thing. This race is different. So I'm hoping they're data driven individuals, right? When they see that this race is winnable, and we already got one poll that shows that it is, I believe that they'll turn out. On my website, you can donate crypto. I'm using Gemini, just like your sponsor. Uh, Listen, I thought the Winklevoss brothers, they proved during that whole debacle of all the stuff that was going bankrupt, they stood up and they did the right thing. And I think that should be rewarded. So I believe that, they'll support. I'm hoping Ripple, Coinbase, Kraken, all of them support. We got a shot. And listen, to me, crypto and Bitcoin, it's when I was young, and I'm older than you, David. When I was young, what was the American dream? You would buy a house, maybe you get a rental property to help build wealth. Who can afford one now, right? Average home in Massachusetts, $675,000. It's 106% higher than national average. So people, regular people, have sort of been priced out of the American dream. So they look at Bitcoin, they look at altcoins, XRP, ETH, whatever it is, as a way of trying to build wealth in this new technology world. Why in the world would they want to exclude that from people?
They don't want people to have an opportunity. You know that, John. They don't want retail to. I mean, they were crying when retail banned together Wall Street bets and started, buying up AMC and GameStop. They started triggering all those halts and no, 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 no. You and came onto CNBC and Fox Business crying, "How dare these people? How dare they? They don't know what they're doing. How dare they're killing our companies? Yet these are the same people killing companies, shorting them to death and into bankruptcy." You know,
100.
uh,
You're right. Look, why do they support that accredited investor rule where you have to be worth $1 million and you can't count your home, which is what most people
yeah.
have as wealth, or you got to make 300 grand a year for like 3 years straight? Why would they have a rule that would exclude? You could serve in the Marine Corps and give your life to your country, but you can't own private shares of OpenAI. You can't own private shares of SpaceX. Give me a effing break, man. Like, why would you even care? Why would you want to hold people down like that? But these career politicians, that's what they do. And so we need somebody who is one of us, who's experienced life struggles, who's been poor, uh, had trouble paying his bills like I have in my life. I'm lucky today, and I worked hard for it, but and blessed, I should say, today. But I know what those struggles are, and I think it's time we hire one of us and elect one of us to go to the Senate and fight for real people.
And I agree with that. It is time to have like one of us go in there who can be bought. Like it's like somebody there fighting for the American people. I'm tired of. I'm an America first guy. Like I want to focus on this country. Like we have vets that come back overseas, giving up their lives for us, coming back here. They're not really given anything. Like they're not like to me in my eyes, they're given nothing. What, a VA card? Like great. No, they need more. Like we need to give them more. And there's a homeless situation going on across the country. Like we're not focused on our own people. And I want to see more of that. I wanted to ask you this with the government shutdown because like I know I veered off real quick, but do you think like people that choose whichever side it is chooses to close down the government, do you think they should be fined and docked with no pay until they figure it out? Because how
I
unfair is it that you had so many people that got laid off of jobs, weren't getting like 42 million people on Snap is crazy. By the way, I don't even that's a an hour conversation with me. But like
I
42
agree.
million people weren't getting. We should never have 42 million people in the United States of America on the SNAP program. To me, that's wild. Like we should be able to cut that in half or have that at least at 10%. I understand people have struggles, but do you believe like you shut down the government, nobody gets paid until you guys resolve it? Because I think I think that's fair. And you know what I think also, no pay and penalties until it's resolved. Because I think then it starts affecting them like it affects the American the American citizen out here starving.
See, someone like you, not just me, but someone like you should be running for office because that's common sense. When they feel the same consequences that other regular Americans feel, then they'll act different. I think they should not get paid, and they shouldn't get paid when the government opens up. That should be forfeited pay during the entire shutdown. There should be some kind of consequence. Listen, I think that uh, congressmen and senators should get paid the median salary of the state in which they live. They want their raise to go up. Figure out a way to get other people's raises up that you of your constituents instead of you're guaranteed 200 grand a year. And on top of that, you're guaranteed 175, 200 grand a year. How do you become a multimillionaire in 5 years? I'm just saying.
John, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, how are these people on a 174K salary? How is their net worth after 7 years at almost $150 million? Explain it to me. Like, I don't understand. Like, I understand, but from your point of view, explain that. How is that possible?
Well, first, it's absolutely they exempt themselves from insider trading. David, if you get a call today by, let's say, someone that you know in finance that says, I got this secret information on this company. If I were you, David, I'd buy, X amount of shares. And you do that, can get prosecuted,
Yeah.
right? Insider trading, you had information that is not available to the public, and you could get they exempt themselves. I mean, is it a coincidence that Nancy Pelosi did 17,000% better than the S&P 500? Like, who has returns like that?
She's the best trader on the planet.
Right. And so they exempt themselves. There's rampant insider trading as it relates to stock picks and all of that. And they exempt themselves from the same rules that you and I apply that apply to you and me. And the shutdown is just one more example. They get paid, but no other federal government employee gets paid at the same time. I mean, think about air traffic controllers. They're only controlling the space of our,
Yeah.
of safety in air flight, and you want them not being paid, being overworked, worrying about how they're going to make their mortgage payment, how they're going to get their groceries that week. You want them worrying about that, or do you want them paying attention to the skies? Right? But no, they don't get paid. But you voted to shut down the government. You're going to get paid. No, it's insane, and it should anger everyday Americans.
Do you because obviously this will probably be a topic that's brought up. Um, there are a lot of states that are trying to stop ICE from getting illegal migrants out of the country. What's your stance on that?
My stance is there are certain things that should be no brainers, right? So here in Massachusetts, the governor of Massachusetts and the mayor of Boston are like, we're not going to help ICE at all. That actually exasperates the situation because ICE is still coming. And if you don't coordinate at all, at least say, I agree with you, ICE. Let's get rid of the bad guys,
Yeah.
right? So you came here illegally and you committed a felony, child rape, drug distribution, assault, battery, whatever. That's a no-brainer, right? I'm going to help you as the governor of my state to find that bad guy and get him the hell out of our country, deport him. But when they don't take that approach, it exasperates it, and it forces ICE to go out into these communities without any coordination. And, some mistakes can be made. Are there going to be some cases that are not as clear? If you were brought here by your parents when you were 5 and you're 25 and you've never committed a crime and you are paying taxes and you're a good citizen, not a citizen, but resident, then sure, there should be, we can't, have the same rule maybe as the rapist. Maybe there's a way we can work with you to get you legal status. But certainly let's prioritize the bad guys. I went to the border and learned that during the Biden administration, 12 million people crossed the border. Now, David, let's assume that 95% are good people. They just want a better life. even if only 5% are bad, that's 600,000 bad guys, man. And if I'm wrong, and if it's 90%, then you're at 1.2 million bad guys. So, but this whole approach of we're not going to work with the government and we're going to interfere with lawful deportations is nonsense to me.
I agree with that point with you. If somebody was born here, obviously parents came over, you're born in this country, and you've been, a good resident of the United States of America. I think there should be some sort of program developed to like a 5-year program to allow somebody to get their citizenship here, as long as they're clean.
Right.
I don't think somebody who's lived here, born here, should be kicked out of this country. I've said that before, but like I'm happy with getting rid of illegal migrants who have committed crimes here. I mean, like it's a no brainer, and to see some of these Democrats just stand up and say absolutely not. They belong here, and we need to give illegal migrants health care. I mean, it's blown me away because we can't even give health care out to our own people that are citizens here. Yeah, we're fighting for people that literally have committed crimes, but we need to go ahead and take care of them. No voter ID. What's your stance on that? Because I can't wrap my head around no voter ID. What was happening in California? So anybody can just come in. Here you go. Just and it was at that point in Cali that they were. You can't say something about IDs or you would be fined or arrested or something like that. No voter ID when it comes to the most prestigious positions in the United States American government. What are your thoughts, John?
Did you get carded recently when you ordered a beer or you ordered a drink and any time in your recent history?
Recently, yeah, I have.
Okay. All right. So you got carded. You had to prove that you're 21 years of age. I mean, listen, as long as the government ID doesn't cost the citizen, like I come from poverty, so you don't want to say it's going to cost $39.99 to get a voter ID because then someone who's poor isn't going to
Correct.
they're going to use the money for groceries. But the government at government costs should absolutely issue voter ID to folks, and we have paper ballots. Voter ID comes in. I'm legit. Listen, we have 400,000 illegals in Massachusetts. And I get asked this question, and I don't have a good answer, David. John, how do you know that the illegals are not going to vote? Because they gave them driver's license. And when you go to the driver's license, the RMV here in Massachusetts, they automatically enroll you to vote. So we call the department, secretary, and they're like, oh, don't worry about it because the licenses are coded differently. But if you go in and your policy is not to ask people their legal status because you don't want to profile or you don't want to do any of this stuff, then that clerk who's giving you your license isn't going to ask you that. They're going to automatically register you. So we've got to figure if we don't have electoral integrity in our country, then that's a serious threat to our constitutional republic. We've got to get people to be confident that it's fair elections and that the votes are the votes. And, Elizabeth Warren wouldn't even debate me until after 30% of all the votes had casted, which were mail-in votes.
Yeah.
Right. And so we got to figure it out. But no, you're right. It makes sense. We're one of the only countries that take this approach that asking someone for their ID to vote is somehow anti-democracy. It's actually pro-democracy.
Correct.
Right? You're wanting to make sure that a person who can vote. If you're not a citizen, you don't get to vote. And your illegal immigration question, you want to know who are the most outraged people when it comes to illegal immigration? Legal migrants, people who came here, they got a sponsor, they weren't put on welfare or food stamps, they had to check in, and they waited and they participated in the legal system, and then they get their citizenship eventually, right? And so if we come in and we reward everyone, we're either a nation of laws or we're not a nation of laws. And so we have to respect those laws. But no, you're right. It's a concern. It's a concern I have. and we're going to have to figure out a way to improve our electoral integrity.
John,
Voter,
when you,
voter ID is the easy way to do it, right?
it is. I mean, like it's so simple.
Right.
I'm not even gonna bring up blockchain. I mean, these things don't need a blockchain. This is simple stuff. I wanted to ask you when you win, okay? That's the energy I put out there. When
I,
you win,
I will.
okay, not if, but when you win, um, besides obviously, I'm sure you'll speak up for crypto and you'll be a big advocate for crypto and the technology and it's new finance to me, the way I look at it, and
Right.
it gives an opportunity for everybody to participate. It's a big reset in my eyes. But I don't hear a lot of people talk about the military and taking care of our veterans when they come back, or taking care of our veterans in general. Will you create job creation or try to create job creation for our veterans? Like an example would be, we have these school shootings. Uh, if a military person comes back from serving and they're cleared mentally, right? Mental health is good, they're good. Wouldn't it wouldn't it be a good idea to pay a position like that $100,000 per year and have a veteran stand by that school and guard it? Because that would essentially eliminate anybody. Well, you'll still have crazy mentally ill people attempt to, but the numbers will go down when you have a veteran who's willing to give up his life for kids sitting and learning in school. Like, what would you be like an advocate out there to like really finally take care of the vets of our military?
Listen, I appreciate that question. I served 7 years in the Marine Corps.
And
It
thank you.
is it is a disgrace how someone who puts on a uniform goes over, they engage in combat, they see friends die, some of them come back without a limb, and then yes, we say thank you for your service, as we should, but there's got to be more, right? We have to have an aggressive policy. One of the committees that I want to be on, when I get in the Senate. If you only picked one, John, you could belong to only one of the Senate committees. It would be the Veterans Committee. I want to be on the Banking Committee because I want to be a thorn in Warren's side, right? Because I want to advocate for real people, not bankers.
Yeah.
But if I'd want to be on that. I'd want to be on an Ethics Committee because we need to restore ethics. But if you said you could only be on one, it would be veterans, so that we can expand uh, the opportunities for veterans. If you're going to give priority to anyone, you have all these DEI policies and stuff out there. If there is one I would support, it's like giving veterans a priority, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you served? Okay, let's figure out a way that we can do gainful employment. And your idea of the school, those are the things that we should be thinking about. I think we got to sit around and think of ways to utilize veterans, because they took an oath to serve their country. They're great people, and we need to use that kind of uh, patriotism and commitment and dedication in other ways. So 100%, it's a great question. I love the fact that you're an advocate for our veterans, and kudos for you for that.
I appreciate that. I mean, Trump has done whether I don't care what anybody thinks, but there's been a bigger spotlight with Trump in office when it comes to the military, and I just feel like like they haven't been taken care of. That's it. Like anybody who's willing to give up their life and knowing the consequences, not even if you don't lose a limb, coming back and having PTSD, seeing friends dying, like that's you're coming back with these flashbacks, and we just need to do better. Like we need to take care of our own, and especially those who served on the front line. So like I really wanted to. I know that you and I appreciate you for not only doing that for this country, but now this is another thing going into politics and having to fight all these people that really I'll say it, I'm unfiltered. Like they really don't care about, the average person. I don't believe they do. Because if they had our best interest, it would have been done already. I'm tired of every 4 years being promised something. It doesn't matter which side either. It's like stop promising, start delivering. Period. Okay? Like that's all I want. Get some real people that are not bought Go get it done. Okay. Both sides sit down because that's how this nation is going to be great. Both sides sit down, iron out deals that make sense for the American people, not for you. That's really it. And I hope, not even hope, I know you're going to win. And if you win, that means more people will see somebody like you who gets into office and they'll be inspired to go and put themselves on the ballot as well.
Yeah, and after I win, I'll be back on your show because I'm never going to change who the hell I am. And people that support me before are going to be the people there. I hope that you'll get an invite to the victory party, because let me tell you something. I get to Washington, I'm not letting them pick who I surround myself with. I'm going to be picking people I can trust, who have my back, who know that we're in this fight together. So I just want you to know that. After I win, we're going to come back and talk and do the same things we did before.
Promise me a one-on-one interview, and that'll be good enough for me.
You
Your
got my
victory.
word, brother. You got
Thank
my
you.
word.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you guys. Go out to, what's the website again?
John Deaton for Senate, johndeatonforsenate.com. Even if it's, $25, anything you can give. You can give more, please give more. Trust me, we can win this race. You'll be able to say you helped put one of us in the U.S. Senate to fight these hacks. That's what I call them, political hacks who have only their self-interest. They forgot it's called public service, not self-service.
I like that. And I will be donating along with my company to your cause because you're going to win. And I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic when that does happen. John Deaton, the legend, the man who fought for us in crypto, will now be fighting for our country. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you,
on. I
David.
really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Have a great one.
You too.
That's John. I love John Deaton, and I hope he wins. Not hope, he will win. There's no hope. He's going to win. Okay? He's going to win. We're going to make it happen. Okay? We're going to make it happen. Everybody in Massachusetts, do me a favor. You go out there and you vote for John Deaton. That's right. All right? I give my endorsement to John Deaton. You know why? Because I watched Deaton fight for crypto. Okay? Now, y'all might say, oh my God, it was Ripple and XRP. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And with that victory, clarity slowly came. This is a man that didn't need to do it. He went there and fought for us. He wasn't paid to do it. Did it on his own. Okay? I want people who actually want to see this country get into office. Okay? That's what I want to see. We'll be back with the breakdown after this commercial break from Gemini. Shout out to Gemini, which John Deaton is using to go ahead and collect donations. So again, if you're out in mass, even if you're not out in mass, go ahead and donate. Okay, donate to his run. We need more people like him there, not only for crypto, but if you live in the United States of America, you know what time it is. Episode 622 is sponsored by Gemini. Go to gemini.com/David G to look at the credit cards that Gemini has to offer, all issued by WebBank. And also, click on the link that I have on all my social media platforms. Trade $1,000 and sign up to Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin for first-time signups. Terms apply. Is Gemini okay with having no audio in their ad? Well, I did the voiceover. Okay, you must have missed it. You'll have to replay this show. All right, welcome back to episode 622. I didn't think I was going to have this gentleman back so soon. Yeah, I said in a few weeks we'll go ahead and touch base. Well, fuck that, because I think we got to touch base right now because I got a bunch of people in my DMs fucking crying. Okay, during a John Deaton interview, you guys are DMing me crying. Oh no, this is an opportunity for me. Well, let's see what this man thinks. Kelly, what's going on, man? What's happened with these fucking markets already?
Well, first off, markets might be dropping, but we're still going to be hitting that number here at some point. But the question is, and this is what is grinding everybody's gears, why can't I have it now? I want it to go up now. They want profits now. Mofos, every single one of you listening, you don't get profits if you don't get good entries. So why are you barking at the charts, given some legendary entries when we're entering the most asymmetric bet in history, even before all the life of Bitcoin and crypto leading up to January 20th of this year was in the face of every single thing that could be the adversity point for Bitcoin, with the world's foot on its throat. And here we have the entire world restructuring around accepting Bitcoin, institutions layering in, whales stacking like mad. But yes, some whales are selling. Great. It's the great rotation. I'm here for it. We got to be a little bit more patient than we thought we needed to be. But I'm still a bull in 2026. But I do think there's going to be some troublesome times for the perma bulls. I do think it's going to be a little bit of a choppy season all the way in, probably through the end of January.
I'm willing to sell my jacket right now. Okay,
let's go.
I'm willing to sell this right now. Pay me $100. This jacket. First of all, this ain't $100. Pay me $1,000. This $1,000 is going straight into Bitcoin. Okay, straight into Bitcoin. All right. So basically, we're fucked until January. Is that what you just said? I'm just translating.
No, I mean, I would reserve being super bull. Like we're gonna get a bounce. We have to bounce at some point. We're gonna bounce.
So yesterday was basically like a relief bounce, right?
Well, no, I don't think that was a bounce. I mean, even looking at this, right? I mean, look how red that is. That's so darn red. We're in the absolute fear zone. We're gonna get some sort of actual bounce, like up into 100, maybe 107, maybe all the way up to 118. You can't be really super bullish on a potential continuation until we take out some of the speed bumps that are above us right now. And when you consider investing and where markets might go in the next month, 2 months, quarter, whatever, or beyond, the risk narrative right now is clearly fractured. Like being in risk is fractured. I would say the earliest would be December 10th. Because that's when we're going to get the next the potential federal funds, Fed interest rate cut. And despite the Fed interest rate cut, one of the things that's kind of percolating right now is the government reopened, and it's only a temporary reopening until January 30th, as it stands right now. But the interesting thing here is that the $1 trillion in the Treasury General account. Everybody was expecting a pretty big roll off of that, meaning money coming back into the market or funding some things, 100, 200 billion in the first, several days after that happened. I mean, we've seen about $30 billion reduction so far in that. So it makes you wonder, are they trying to kind of really use all the mechanisms to create the strongest circumstance for a rate cut? And if that's the case, then what happens after December 10th, whether we get a rate cut or not? At some point, we have an overwhelming stress in the banking the banking market right now on an exponential. Let me actually pull up a chart. It's going to take me one moment, but there's if people don't realize the stress the market was in before 2008, that led to that great financial crisis. It was so terrible. It was so terrible. Let me just drop this on your face, every single one of you, and this will make you realize I don't care what the stress is right now and my profits not being there in Bitcoin today. This is a chart. Yeah, this little baby blip, this stress in the markets, in the banking market, that's what caused the great financial crisis, the housing crisis, all that. Look at the difference. Absolute exponential orders of magnitude bigger. This is what was a part of the big cause of the birth of Bitcoin. In this case, we actually have Bitcoin, but you have to remember, we also just got added to the okay list. It's okay on the world stage for now there's clearly there's a different mission motif for somebody that got it in 2011, their idea about Bitcoin versus the players that are coming in now. And then you have players that also just see where this is going. They don't really care about the mission. They think they can make some money. All notions are valid. But the point here is this is a major amount of stress that's happening right now in, unrealized gains, basically losses. So in this case, we're seeing unrealized losses, what we're seeing reflecting in essentially the banking industry right now. And we have Bitcoin. And BlackRock woke up to it. Fidelity woke up to it. A number, we're seeing an exponential shift in institutional stacking on Bitcoin right now. And so I look at this like the biggest whale game that's ever been expected. In fact, I even did a post on this today. Check this out. This is a problem with the market right now, everybody. This is the problem right here. This is a problem. Everybody thinks they learned everything. They have it right this cycle. They know what they're going to do. They haven't. Okay, everything changed. Everything changed. We got Trump's tweets to contend with. We have tariffs that are changing. Is it taxing the citizenry? Is it not? Is it good? Is it bad? We got the Epstein files. We've got wars, different wars, potential new wars in Venezuela, a government shutdown. I mean, it's not been, let's just be honest, guys. This has not been the cookie cutter. This is an absolutely easy market to trade. And it's not meant to be. I think this period of time right now, even though I still think we're going to hit new highs in 2026, it is foretold by the liquidity. I do think because everybody's expecting everything right now, the 4-year cycle doomers are going to get wrecked when the market reverses. And the people that don't think the 4-year cycle is in effect at all are also being far too long right now and are probably going to exit lower. So I think this is a shake off the tourist stage in the market. Unfortunately, we're going to have some interesting conversations with our uncles, on Thanksgiving, because we told them at $15,000 to buy. And of course, when do they buy? $126,200. And they go, yo, Kelly, why is this market dropping? It's like, bro, you're a little late to the party. You need to take your can somewhere else, sir.
Listen, I'm thinking I'm doing my own TA. I think this is Jim Cramer's fault. What are your takes on that? Today he tweets out the cabal is holding Bitcoin at 90,000. Guess what happens? It lost its legs.
Well, yeah, it lost its legs, but we're seeing some interesting things. We could blame it on Kramer. We could not. He is an absolute, overwhelming, interesting inverse indicator. There's even, of course, it was a McDonnell Douglas. The McDonnell Douglas was the plane that went down with UPS about a few weeks ago. But of course, what was it? 2 weeks before that, he puts on a hat. It's like, it's time to invest in the airlines. It's like, bro, like, really, are you that bad of a bad indicator? But looking at this data, even with the IBIT, we saw one of the worst outflow days in history. It's not a long history for ETFs, but we're seeing it sort of spill over. We're seeing the first real time. It's not the exact first, but among some of the early first times that a lot of these people that are getting into specifically the ETF that have never had crypto exposure, they don't know about the 4-year cycle. They don't know that stock market down 20%, that's a bear market. That's not Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin, we see this rinse and repeat over and over. I mean, even right here, this was 33%. This was 32%. Here we are again at that same metric, sitting here right about, 28, 29%. This is not for the average soul. So while I think everybody should get Bitcoin, the truth is most people don't have the courage to hold it. But the matter of fact is, if you want to really see massive gains into your future, you have to risk it for the biscuit. And Gary Cardone yesterday on your show, great take. He always has great takes. In fact, I think I was the first one that had him on a media thing. He was on BitLab about 3 years ago.
Did you like his take about Bitcoin as being dickless?
I don't know if I heard. I might have dropped off by the time that came on. But
might have dropped off.
No, but I think he's right about the marketing, though.
Yeah.
The marketing's
garbage. I've always said that. The marketing is always garbage.
But when you look at this, and just remember the devaluation of the dollar over the last 100 years, the devaluation of the dollar, really even over, I'm trying to find a cleaner chart. Yeah, a devaluation of the dollar even over this last 4 years. It's been ridiculous. And then you remember that Bitcoin has a fixed cap of 21 million coins, and we're getting an exponential increase in these ETFs buying institutions. Even right here, the cost term basis for BlackRock's IBIT, it's at $80,500. So that's the average cost basis for all Bitcoin bought in the exposure into IBIT. And then you look at the size, 788,000 Bitcoin. 200,000. This is in the matter of about a year and a half, 2 years, right?
Well, let me ask you a question, Caleb. Why would they sell today, though? What prompted them to sell?
Well, I want to clear up one thing, and that is there's a lot of weird terminology around BlackRock selling. People confuse BlackRock selling the shares, the Bitcoin exposure that the clients have bought from BlackRock. So if their clientele is selling, then BlackRock has to sell the representative Bitcoin. So I think it's more, remember, there is retail in Bitcoin ETFs as well. So much like we're seeing the swings in the spot market, we also, this is what I was alluding to earlier. There's a lot of people that have been on the sidelines with no exposure their entire life around Bitcoin. ETFs come out, they're more traditional asset minded. They buy Bitcoin through the Bitcoin ETF, BlackRock or Fidelity, and then they see a 28% swing. To them, the market's over. To us, we're like, yo, where am I going to plant my flag? I'm trying to buy right now.
Exactly.
But then we see this chart, random charts, random graphs. What is this? Institutional ETF holdings. Come down here. It's not just individuals buying. Jane Street has 40,202 Bitcoin. allocation through ETFs. That's cool. I mean, 331,000, 30,000. I mean, we're seeing massive growth in the number of average institutional portfolio allocation. It was down here at sub 1%. Now we're up here at 1.4%. That's a pretty massive gain. Then you look at the number of institutions. Just take a gander at this. January 2024, what we have, 166. What do we have around today? Let's look at that. 2,000. This is all the early, remember, we think it's like the early adopters from 2013. This just entered the world traditional finance global stage. So we're at the early adopter stage of countries and institutions. So we had to reset. Now we're in a new epoch with the early adopters of this, the financialization of Bitcoin. And we're seeing in the last, basically year that we've more than 10x'd the number of institutions coming in. And it's just getting started. So when I look at all that and I say, okay, we're sitting here at the, the lowest fear scores that we've seen this entire bull market. The bull market could be over, sure. But my question for you and everybody out there that thinks that, am I denying there's a bearish trend? No, there's clearly a bearish trend. But the battle everybody has to fight right now is this going into a bear trend like this, an actual bear market for the next year and a half? Or are we going to persist with these sort of stair steps, maybe one larger drawdown, maybe to 74,000, and then wreck everybody by persisting up to the upside? Because we have the stimulus in whatever form it comes in the middle of next year. Japan just did $110 billion stimulus. China's, acknowledged they're about to do like $1 trillion plus stimulus. There's liquidity coming into the system, clearly. And the bull market doesn't end as liquidity is arriving to the system. The fact that Bitcoin has done all of this in the face of reduced liquidity the entire run. We had quantitative tightening. We had not only the rates, but there was something. I don't even remember what I was going to say. I've done so many shows today. There's been no new money coming in except for institutions, and the institutions being here has provided that pivot from old players to rotate into new hands. I'm completely in agreement with Gary Cardone when everybody right now is mad that these OGs are selling, and in reality, this is opening that next sort of gateway to the next stage in the market. And these new market players are not looking at 3-month cycles, 4-year cycles. No, they're figuring out how to get their positions and to stack in and build services and products around this. And so they're going to, I couldn't be more bullish on this dip.
Me too. And honestly, I think I don't know why I feel this in my gut, but I feel like they're setting everybody up for a rip, like have it where the sentiment is turning bearish, but then it just rips. And I agree with you. We haven't had liquidity here pour in. Retail's not here. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Yeah, you want to talk about ETFs and retail going into ETFs? Great. Those are the same people that would never come into crypto in general to play in crypto. Okay, that I understand. I have this conversation all the time. They're like, retail's here. They went ahead and bought ETFs. Yeah, I know that, but those people would never open up a wallet. I'm talking about retail. Retail hasn't come in here. Okay, retail has not participated. I'm telling you, I feel it in my balls that this shit is going to rip. I feel it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But there ain't no way. Wait, this was not a bull run. This was not a bull run. Okay, this is. If somebody says it's done, we've topped. What do we do really? We know what bull runs. We know what bull run cycles feel like. This did not feel like anything like a bull run cycle. It was just an institutional Bitcoin run. That's it.
Well, I would argue, even with this large rip to the upside, everybody's like, that was a bull run. But what if this is a response that looks like a bull run, right? This is going to bend some people's brains. What if this looks like a bull run because of the pressure that entered the system in terms of monetary velocity when we had all that money printed around COVID? But that was years ago. Yeah, but we printed 80% of the money that's ever existed in 6 months. Days. That's still working its way into the system and the devaluation of the dollar. And so what if this actually was a lot more flat? You know what I mean? What if this was, kind of like early 2017? This is actually a lot more flat, and we're going to get that sort of rip kind of up to the upside, whatever it is, later this middle next year, potentially, like Arthur Hayes says, all the way into 2028. I don't think people realize what a different scenario we're in right now, where nations, whether we see it with active buying, every major G20 is out there discussing what their Bitcoin policy is going to be.
But people are buying, like Saylor isn't going, and not that Saylor's a nation, but I mean he holds a good percentage of Bitcoin, but he's not buying on Binance. He's buying OTC. Like everybody's like, I don't see him buying. It's OTC. Well, what's wrong? Anyway, honestly, I'm so happy because I was shitting myself. No, I was just kidding. I just wanted to be sensational there. But honestly, I'm not even affected. Kelly, I'm not affected by anything. I'm so numb.
Well, you've been a couple cycles, right?
Yeah, I've been here for 10 years.
We have been affected. I've been there. I got the scars on my soul, on my heart, wondering if I was just, everybody else is making money. Why am I not? How come when I take a trade, if I buy it drops, if I sell, it goes up? We've all been there. And we realize that it goes back to patience and smart asset allocation. And in the face of right now, when the world has literally just opened up to this asset class, Bitcoin most specifically, but even the broader blockchain ecosystem with stablecoins, and we have legislation on the sidelines, very soon to get deployed. Now is not the time to be fearful. Now you might be mad that you need to be more patient than you expected, but we're in the middle of a turning, not only of just technology, but the way the world integrates over culture, over commerce, over business, over transaction, over storage of value. And blockchain somehow is able to capture elements of all of those things. And we have 8 billion people in the world. Nobody understands why everything's such a mess. You go to a concert, there's trash all over the ground, but none of those same people, when they go to their house, throw the trash on the ground in the backyard. It's diffusion of responsibility. But yet somehow we have blockchain now that is collapsing this mass dispersed populace back into a tribal mentality, because now everything can be transacted, viewed, and transparent online. So even if you're doing some shitty stuff here now, and you think nobody else sees it, social media has started to collapse that and expound on it. But now blockchain is starting, at least in a business sense, starting to collapse things to make things a lot more workable and a lot less, I'm me and you are the other. It's like, oh, we all see so there's a lot going on right now. There's a transition of human culture that's happening before our eyes. At the same time, we're all trying to say, which one's going to pump next? Mofo, it's going to take some time, man. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Be patient is the key word. Patience. Kelly, I appreciate you, man. Guys, follow Kelly. He came on. I reached out to him to bring him on because you guys were fucking bugging out. But Kelly can be found with Discover Crypto. Go follow them. And also BidLab Academy. Give them a follow. He has a show. Starts at 2 p.m. It already started. Thank you so much, Kelly, for did it start? No. What do you?
We were on early today because we extended because Trump was talking at the investment thing. So we already did that show. I'll be on the Wolf Bitcoin thing at 3. But yeah, we're live most days at 2:00 on Discover Crypto. We multi-stream also on BitLab and on my handle, which you can see under my face there at Kelly Kellum. But yeah, you always do good content. You bring on great guests. And by the way, not even congratulations, but you earned it on that. I saw that metrics, the massive growth in the last couple of weeks. We all know as content creators, it's just like all you out there investing. You can do the same thing every day for 2 years and grow like 7 followers, and you want to jump out the window. And then you hit the right thing in the algorithm, the right 3 people hit the like button, all of a sudden you grow 10,000, then you grow 100,000. So every one of you that's out there, make sure you're following David. Even if you found this from somewhere else, make sure you're hitting the like button, retweeting stuff, putting comments. We engage with that. That's how we know what content you guys are engaging with, hating. Sometimes we dive into the stuff you hate because you're wrong. But we gotta come together as people and not just be trolls online, although we appreciate you. Let's substantiate some stuff with some backup, not just my coin's better because I owned it. That doesn't make a coin better. In fact, if it's XRP, it's probably a piece of I didn't say that. But hey,
I was talking to a friend last night before you go, and I said, number one, everybody brings value here. What you feel is value might not be value to somebody else, and that's fine. But there's value. There are a bunch of creators out here just creating tons of really good value. Like my situation, obviously I've been growing out a company, but I put myself on the back burner for like 2, 3 years. And, listen, like it's kind of like I said this, it's kind of like Michael Jordan going to play baseball, bro. Like ain't nobody interested in that. So it's kind of like, this is kind of like my comeback arc. I'm trying to get that 23 back onto my jersey. So that's really the mission. And it's really also at the same time to provide some sort of value. At the day, bring on some really cool, notable names from crypto or outside of it and just chop it up. I'm not trying to get anybody in a gotcha moment. I really want people to, after a show like this, to gain something from it. Like, hopefully, a lot of people who tuned in right now, when Kelly came on, you got, a little bit, you got a little patience forming around yourself right now. You're cool, calm, and collective. You're like, okay, this shall pass too, right? And that's how we'll keep it. I appreciate you though, Kelly. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you for coming on 3 times in a month. That must be a record. 3 times in a month, Kelly helped me get to what, 2.51 million. That's right.
Hey,
Thank you
I'll
so
come
much.
on. I'll come on whenever you have me. And on the as I wrap out here, just a reminder: you're never late. You get in when it's the right time. Circle, which is probably part of one of the hottest narratives in blockchain, which is stablecoin. Everybody wanted to ape into that, and then felt like they missed the boat. And some people bought the top and FOMO. And in the matter of 150 days, it's gone from it peaked super quick, and now it's down 78%. You didn't miss it. Wait for the right opportunities. Be patient, and you'll find your nut.
Let's go. That's Kelly. You know where to
Adios,
find me.
everybody.
Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely.
And as always, we'll be back right after this commercial break. The voiceover, by the way, Kelly's a great guy. Hey, Kelly, come on. I need 5 minutes. That's exactly what I said to him. I need 5 minutes. And then snap on. And I was like, man, that's dope. That's what I'm talking about. Like, content creators should be supporting content creators. Media personalities should be supporting media personalities. By the way, I got to tell you, 90% of the people we've contacted to come onto this show have been absolutely ready to get down and talk about business, talk about Bitcoin, politics, whatever's trending, right? They're willing to come on. Then you got 10% of the people out here pretending like they're famous and like they're well known. Okay? Let me just say something to you real quick. You're not famous. You're not well known. Okay? Just because a few people know you in crypto doesn't mean shit. Okay? Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break. That's right. You've tuned into episode 622 of The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini. Visit Gemini.com/David G. That is right. Go check out the lineup of credit cards while my dogs are barking. That is absolutely right. Gemini.com/David G. Check that out. Also, use my link to sign up to Gemini. New users who sign up today. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. That's right. Terms apply. But Gemini is doing everything possible to go ahead and help you go big. Earn Bitcoin, not points. We'll be right back. And we'll be right back with the breakdown right after this commercial break from Gemini. Yes, you are not hearing a voiceover. Absolutely not. You're not hearing a voiceover. I'm doing the voiceover when I feel like it. What's going on? We're back. Yeah, I gotta play this track, man. Before we get back into the ending of this show, I gotta play this track. I saw this. I thought this was wicked, man. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it?
Pack, who's got the last laugh? Who needs a backtrack? I'm the one sliding on shit like trackpad. I'm not putting no names on a guest list. Buy a ticket, touchdown, and
I seen this. I was
in
like,
Atlanta. I'm
yo.
feeling like Julio Jones. Studio flows, I'm bringing down Julio. About to be Ubering home. It's 2 in the morning, that bitch tryna read me, but I'm not Junie B. Jones. Who do you know here, ho? I'm turning a booth to a funeral home. Y'all really should pay me my dues, but I'm all about canceling student loans. Don't come to me saying you rap if you don't have more than like 2 or 3 flows. I gotta be careful when moving with y'all. I know what you do for a post. I'm tryna connect for real, but nowadays everyone's glued to their phone. Just know whenever I walk in a room, it smell like perfume and cologne. Like whatever your gender identity, I'm on your neck. Keep all the cloud, I want respect. Yo man say he'll come for me and sound like a threat. All y'all do is hang on a neck, give him a tag, loud and direct. They said I'm not gonna make it, sound like a bet. Y'all at a time and I'm on a protect. Blowing through deals and you're running up debt. I'm on top but I don't break a sweat. 48 minutes I don't break a sweat. Yeah, I can't rap, you rely on the press. So why would I ever be pressed? Verses like mastectomy, I'm just getting this weight on my chest. Yeah, I win. Long blonde hair to the ass crack. I'm a big deal, no blackjack hashtag. I was just thinking about your man, got a flashback. Found me in the booth with a gas mask, put on a suit, it's a hazmat. Back then, y'all were laughing at the backpack. Who's got the last laugh? Who needs a backtrack? I'm the one sliding on shit like trackpad. I'm not putting no names on a guest list. Buy a ticket, it's an investment. Why I got people I don't know in my green room drinking all my refreshments. You can't enjoy my rider if you're not a ride or die. If you're here for my vagina, then you will not be revitalized. I gotta go hit up Ian for curry whenever I'm back in town. And whenever I leave, I'm propping us up in rooms, go ask around. I'm smoking on everyone who can't write a rap right now, come past the loud. I got my ears to the streets for ghosts like a hound, I'm tracking them down. I don't know about snakes and fakes and frauds, cause I don't have them around. When they give me some bread, first order of business is trying to ration it out. Cause we went from sleeping on floors for tours and upgraded to having a couch. So when we graduate the hotels, I'm buying a whole team a cap and a gown. If they call me an industry plant after this, me and E-Ty laughing out loud. You take those doubts that you said about me and you put them back in your mouth. I spent all my life looking back at the mirror until I was looking back at a crowd. The way that I'm going to the top like this, you'd think I turn gravity round. Fuck what they're talking about, bitches, go time. Yeah, when this just the warm-up before the show time. Yeah, when shake up the game and fuck up the coastline. Yeah, when nobody realer, I'm on that glow grind.
Yeah, when
That is I don't know, man. That was sick. I seen that yesterday as I was doing research. I was scrolling and I was like, man. I was like, damn, she can spit. Like, she is wild. She is wild on the mic. Shout out to her. I gotta tag her, man. I gotta tag. You know what? I might bring her on. I think she lyrically, I haven't heard somebody go hard like that in a while, man. So shout out. And she got some other stuff out there too. You got some other stuff out there too. Yeah, listen to. I gotta put. I'm sure you guys saw the handle. You can guys go check that out. Welcome back to the Breakdown, episode 622, sponsored by Gemini. I'm telling you, every single time that I go to the bathroom, I feel like I just say sponsored by Gemini. I'm taking a number 2 or number 1, sponsored by Gemini. I feel like every single time, man. I just feel like I wake up in the morning and I'm talking about Gemini. I swear to God, my middle name should be Gemini. David Gemini Gockstein. There you go. There you go. Anyway, shout out to John Deaton. He's running for Senate. I know he's going to win, so that's without a doubt he's winning. Without a doubt he's going to win. So I'm not too worried. But if you like to donate to a real candidate, go. I think it's johndeatonforsenate.com. That's where you go. Listen, what's $25, man? You guys shitcoin all the time. What's $25? $25, $50, you throw it in. And at the end of the day, we can get somebody into the Senate that will fight for the people, because he's fought for crypto. And I know for sure he'll fight for the people, man. America first. You know what I'm saying? America first. That's right. That's right. One thing that I know, I sit here today and I know that my dogs will bark nonstop when I need to go ahead and make a point. I know when I'm trying to make a point, my dogs will start barking and barking and barking. But I want to say, like today I came to a realization, my goddamn dogs. Today I came to a realization, besides the markets going down and stuff like that, I sat back getting prepared for the show. And realization hit me that I made the right decisions in the last 8 to 9 weeks. Because the shit, when you make a decision. So I'm gonna teach you people something. For those entrepreneurs out there that are trying to build, or for people that are building businesses, I'm just gonna lay something on you. At a certain point, you got to make a decision, and when you make that decision, which I personally made 8-9 weeks ago, you start seeing things that you had in your head and you wrote down. The shit starts to unfold, and you see it in 4K, and you're gaslit into being told it's not true when it's very true. That's exactly what happens. So always trust your gut. If your gut is telling you that, hey man, I need to pivot, I need to restructure, I need to focus, listen to your gut. Bottom line, that's what you'd go ahead and do. As for the markets, they will come back. Okay, I'm not even worried about the markets. I am so numb to the markets. It's crazy. This probably used to affect me when I first came into the markets. Now it's just I'm numb to all of this, completely and utterly numb. It does not bother me. My first thought process is how can I acquire more, because I know it's going to go up. That's what I run by. I know this stuff is going to go up. So how do I get more to acquire it. That is what my thought process is. That's how you should be looking at this thing, right? You don't have to listen to anybody, but you could take all this content that is being put out here. Okay, you can go ahead and tune in to be the number one not even I don't want to even keep myself crypto because that would be unfair to me. The number one media personality out here. You can go ahead and look at me, and you could take whatever I have to say. And hold on one second. I think hold on. Let me see if I'm echoing here. Hold on one second. You could take my content. You don't got to follow me. I don't ask you to follow me. I don't tell you to buy shit. I don't tell you to sell shit. You need to figure out what the fuck you're doing here. Okay, you need to really figure out what the fuck you're doing here. You need to stop blaming other people for your losses. Like that's what it really comes down to, because you don't praise other people for your wins. So don't blame them for your losses, okay? You don't know how to take out profit, okay? So you deserve to be in the red. That's it. And you're selling in the red, so that doesn't even make sense. You got everything ass backwards. That's the problem. And you need to start tuning in. If it's not me, tune into somebody else. You don't find value with me, that's fine. Tune into somebody else. Tune into somebody who actually is bringing value to the table. Then you look at everything, use LLMs, and then chop it all up, have them fucking do the research for you, and then put it all together and see if you're in the right positions or not. That's what I suggest for you guys to do. So by the way, stop looking at charts every 5 minutes. Just because you start blowing on your screen doesn't mean the shit's going to move up or down. Okay. Like go outside, touch some grass, go on a bike ride, go for a walk, do something with yourself. You're fat as hell right now, right? You're fat as hell. You're ordering fast food all the time. Maybe, just maybe, stop ordering fast food, start saving that money, putting that shit into crypto, changing your life and your family's trajectory, right? Change the path that your family's heading on. That's what you should be doing. That's what you should be focused on. Really, that's what you should be focused on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the breakdown, episode 622. Gemini sponsored this. Bitcoin went under 90,000. I don't know where it sits right now. You know why? Because I'm not looking at the charts. I refuse to look at the charts. I don't care about the charts, okay? I'll just keep buying without even looking at the charts. How about that? That's how I roll. Markets will recover. Markets will be totally fine, okay? John Deaton was on today, okay? Fought for the people in crypto, and now he's going to fight for the American people. Vote for him. We had also Kelly come on here and told you that, man, one of my theories is that flow that we saw was from money that was printed out from COVID. Landy, he might, come on this week, maybe next week, and we can touch on that topic, and we touch on a lot of topics. No Diddy, no baby oil. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a time to be excited. Okay, you're going to have a lot of people. I got already a lot of people tagging me. Oh, you said the markets are going up. Yeah, they're going to continue to go up. The markets are going to continue to go up. I don't listen to you jerk-offs that have not a cent to your name, not a piece of skin in crypto. Like, I can care less about you. I want you to know that for real. I don't care. I don't care about your opinions. I'm glad that you show up. I'm glad that you follow me. I'm glad that you got me on notifications. I don't care. I don't care. The more that you show up and you listen to me, the more money I make, because that's more impressions and views for me. What does that do for you? If you're not getting any value out of this, then block me, mute me. But you know what? A lot of people do get some value out of me. Okay? I get some value out of me after I go ahead and replay the goddamn shows now. This is healthy. Everything that you're seeing here is healthy. Anybody saying, ha, I told you so? I don't even know how you can wake up in the morning to be a negative ass person. You wake up every single morning, you're negative. Oh, I hate this. I hate that. I hope it goes down. I hope it goes. Okay, so when it goes down, are you buying? If you think crypto's going anywhere, you sons of bitches actually think that crypto is leaving. You think Bitcoin is done, it's going to zero. You actually believe that Peter Schiff is right. Peter Schiff is scared to come on my goddamn show. He's already acknowledged that to one or two people, that he's scared to come on here because I will take that belt to that ass and I will let him know. I will not let him swarm away in our conversation. I will make him look at that very camera and admit that Bitcoin is an asset that his ass missed on, just like Warren Buffett missed on Amazon and Microsoft. Okay? A lot of people took that good game when the markets are down. They go silent when the markets are up, and then they turn into bull posters. I'll be right back after this commercial break.